you know, these rocks, they don't belong here. They belong inside a room. You know, no one's going to see them out here. I had to travel for 100,000 miles to get here. They need to be right down the street from you. So, you know, that's why I'm the artist. I figured these things out.
The person in this photo is Michael Heizer. Michael Heizer was born in Berkeley, California on November 4th, 1944. While growing up, Heizer got to travel through rural California, Nevada, Peru, Bolivia, and Mexico because of his father's career. This exposure to different cultures and environments will later influence his artwork as an artist. At the age of 19, Heizer attended San Francisco's Art Institute during 1963 through 1964, but then later moved to New York in 1966. After being in New York for a year, Heizer realized that New York's museums and galleries were too constraining for his artwork, and therefore he decided to move back west to Nevada. A famous land art project that was created by Michael Heizer in 2012 is called Levitated Mass. Levitated Mass is a large-scale sculpture that is installed on an open land behind the Los Angeles County Museum. For this sculpture, Heizer had to transport a 34-ton boulder from Riverside, California to the site in Los Angeles, California. This massive boulder is anchored onto the top center of a 456-foot-long concrete trench. This elongated trench allows people to walk 15 feet below the massive boulder. The negative form that is created between the trench and the boulder is the key element that makes this land art.
During an interview with John Gruen in 1977, at 33 years old, Heizer claimed his work as being fully independent of anybody else's, coming directly out of himself. And to prove he is not an earth artist, he uses steel liners, which have nothing to do with earthworks. Heizer is not interested in art as we know it, and refers to current art as entertaining and fashionable art held inside delicate studios and quiet museums. Heizer believes the European traditional art has been honorably done, but what he is interested in is an art that hasn't been created yet. The art to match the scale of the man-made objects of today, such as airplanes. And while everyone focuses on the creation, Heizer focuses on the material of the land by spending years surveying and thousands of dollars determining the land's gravel, clay, rock, and water drainage, since he claims he's dealing with the history of materiality. Heizer's work also focuses on the tradition of regionalism. For example, the effigy Tumuli piece paid tribute to the Native Americans by replicating their graves and ceremonial mounds to create the shapes of native species to the Buffalo Rock area. On how to relate to Heizer's work, told by Heizer, you don't have to relate to it. The point is, it's a work of an artist. I'm an artist. That's my business. A lot of my work is based on pre-literate societies. I'm very conscious of the pre-literate traditions. So when talking about relating to my work, well, how do you relate to Maya or Egyptian pyramids?
Another famous land art project that Michael Heizer created in 1967 and 2002 was called Northeast Southwest. Heizer's northeast-southwest sculpture originally consisted of 4 different geometric shapes that were excavated in the Sierra Nevada mountains in California but were not completed. Later on, in 2002, the Dia Art Foundation commissioned Heizer to create Northeast-Southwest Indoor for their grand opening of the Dia Beacon Museum that is located on Beacon, New York. These 4 different geometric pits together measure 125 feet long, and each has a depth of 25 feet. The negative space that is established within these sculptures create a form that is literally made up of nothing, and therefore challenges the viewer to create a volume that is absent instead of present within Heizer's Northeast-Southwest.
Heizer met Virginia Dawn, a gallery owner, in 1968 who offered Heizer a solo exhibit that fall. With accepting the offer, Heizer requested an off-site piece to be sponsored by Dawn's gallery.
Of the entire American landscape, he chose the edge of the Mormon Mesa facing the Virgin River Valley in southern Nevada. The land seems empty and the area is not inhabited. A remote and isolated area is needed as his sculpture was created on a scale never seen before.
The rockfall that creates the two negative forms falls downward to the Virgin River Valley and further expanding the art piece to reach global spaces. Double negative is to be experienced physically, even though it can only be seen entirely by being lifted above by helicopter or plane. Only once you physically move through the sculpture can you experience the different sightlines, forms, shapes, and focal points. In one day, you begin to notice the changes, while over the months, seasons, years, and decades, the sculpture experiences constant change, while evolving over time since it has been left to erode and ultimately chance.